So Caris LeVert, 20 points in consecutive games for the fourth time this season. JB Bickerstaff talked about Caris LeVert after last night's game.
I thought he was great. I think we're seeing what Caris is capable of. His ability to create, not only for himself, but to create for his teammates. And it feels like he's catching a rhythm, with his shot making and when to pick his spots. So I think he's doing a great job for us on both ends. He took a lot of pressure off the way that they wanted to defend Donovan and Darius. And he was able to make them pay by getting to the paint, sharing the ball, creating for himself. But I also think he did a great job defensively. He's been running long stretches and has had a huge impact for us. So, again, I think he's, trending in the right direction and ramping it up.
And Chris, a guy like Caris kind of adjusting to coming off the bench, adjusting to playing next to either Mitchell or Donovan, or Darius rather. That's a lot to be asking and adjusting your game to. So hopefully he's hitting that stride at the right time.
Dave, I can't think of anybody else on this team that has been asked to sacrifice more than Caris, with the exception of maybe Ricky Rubio, who is a starting caliber point guard that's willing to come off the bench in this kind of environment because that's what's best for this team. But Caris has been asked to be a starter, a bench player. He's been asked to play the 2, the 3, sometimes the 4 even in certain lineups. Ball in his hands, ball not in his hands, defend the opponent's best player. Like, there are a lot of things that Caris does on a nightly basis that sometimes don't always get seen. And I think the situation on him has been difficult. And I think we have to recognize that, because what Caris is doing for this team and the sacrifice that he has made, like how he's being used offensively some nights, isn't what's best for Caris. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It doesn't put him in the best situation for him individually to thrive. But that's what the Cavs need. And he's willing to do it, and he's willing to try, and he's willing to be a floor spacer, and he's willing to sacrifice parts of his game so that Darius and Donovan can run the offense, or because Ricky Rubio's running the offense in the second unit instead of Caris. So given all of that he's had to deal with throughout the course of this year, and I know his production has been up and down, and I know sometimes people get frustrated when he hijacks offensive possessions and things along those lines, I think he has been an asset to the Cavs, both on and off the court. And I think he can be an asset for the Cavs on the court, especially in a 7-game series in the playoffs. He's been there before. He understands how to get himself ready for those kinds of moments. And I don't think he's going to be played off the court because he's not just a one-way player. He has shown defensively a lot more this year than I think a lot of people thought he was capable of. And I think that has helped him make up for some erratic offensive nights.